Is the home you're about to buy worth what you're going to pay? That's probably a question that thousands of people have asked themselves over the last decade in the GTA. And the reality is only you can answer that. I've always said when market's quiet, that's when you should be running into the market when everybody else is running out. But unfortunately, people like to travel in groups. And if the media tells them the market's slow, it's quiet, there's a glut of inventory, everybody shies away. And then the market says, and then the media will say, whoa, well, there's bidding wars going on and there's prices are going up at 10% month over month. And it's like, and then everybody runs in because they get that urgency. And this is one of the things I've always said. It's not real estate agents that control the market. People love to use that one. It's the media that controls the market. And the worst thing is everybody else listens. So is that home worth what you're going to pay? That really depends on you, because this is what I've always said in relation to what I said first off, right, about how the media manipulates the market, is that when you're in a multiple offer scenario, that can be like a runaway train. If you get 5 offers on a house, I've been involved in offer presentations where there's 40 offers on a house. When you got that many offers, it's really hard to control the outcome or even predict what that outcome might be. Whereas when you're in a slower market, it's not necessarily the case. Everything's a little bit slower moving. You have time for inspections, time for renegotiation if required, things like that. And so from that standpoint, I've always relied on this over the last couple of years with the clients. Is I'm like, well, we're this far down the road, we have an accepted offer. Is the house worth what you're paying? Because a lot of times people will wake up the next morning after getting their offer together, especially in a multiple offer scenario, and they're kind of like scared shitless the next morning. Did I overpay for that house? I always say let the bank figure it out. If the house isn't worth it, bank appraisals usually come in a little bit low. And I'm not saying this is the only metric, but this is just one that I point out to clients is bank appraisals are always a little bit low. The bank is going to do an appraisal on the house and they're going to figure out what the value is and they're going to establish that. One thing we know with the way that banks and the government have tightened up lending, they're not as willing to give away money as they used to be. So really, at the end of the day, if the bank figures it's worth it for the price you're paying, you're probably walking into a bit of equity. Because I can tell you from my side, I see enough deals fall apart because people buy them in multiple offers, they're bid way over asking, and the bank goes, no, you paid 1.2, the house is only worth $1,050,000. And I see that all the time. So that's the contrast to what we're seeing out there. So the reality at the end of the day, based on schools, not just the construction, but schools, location, convenience to shopping, highways, walking trails, whatever your kink is with a house, is it worth it? Well, only you can decide that. But tell me, is your house right now, the one you bought, the last one you bought, is it worth what you paid for it? And why? Tell me in the comments.